it, Zero. I'm gonna kill you for this.
No, dang it, man. What the hell?
I haven't slept with a mask 4 nights. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think you totally wrecked the audio for this podcast.
Fuck this noise,
Hello,
man.
everyone. Welcome to Legend Hunters, where for the first time the other two want to murder the murderer.
Fuck this noise. Just fuck this noise. I cannot believe I let myself get peer pressured by you and Akari for this.
Oh, yes.
Fuck this noise.
Okay, so...
Well, you can thank Akari for all the nightmare fuel that I have brought upon both of you.
Fuck this
In case
noise.
you're wondering, a buddy of mine showed me a Let's Play of a really, really, really scary horror game called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Now, don't get me wrong. I actually admire the fact that they made a game that was legitimately terrifying.
It was one of the... It's a really good independent game, and it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like... the best way I could put it is, it's pure paranoia.
And it reminds me of a game that came out before I was born, but it was so awesome that it was lost to time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the heck are we talking about? What is this game all about?
Well, for starters, don't play this game if you have a fear of the animals from Chuck E. Cheese's or Disneyland mascots.
Because that's what's chasing you and trying to kill you.
Well,
Not chasing you. What's going on is you're stuck as the night shift in a place called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
They couldn't pay me enough to do this.
No kidding. Especially considering you're getting paid $120 for 1 week. That is literally, you're getting paid...
6 hours.
No, you're getting
24 divided by 12. That's about.
You're getting paid about $6 an hour.
A little bit more than that.
God.
But
yeah,
anyway.
Fuck that shit.
Anyway, so you're stuck in your security office with the ability to look through security cameras and to control the panic doors beside you.
Yeah.
And the lights in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
All of which consumes electricity, which you have a limited supply of.
And if the power runs out, the doors open up. Also, let me say this. The reason why you have to keep an eye on the doors and close them and such is because the animatronics are wandering the area, and if they see you, they're going to mistake you for a metal exoskeleton and try to stuff you inside a bear suit. The problem is, the bear suit will end up killing you because it's full of machine parts. Actually, technically, you'll be alive, but the only thing people will be able to see of you are your teeth and your eyes.
Markiplier did a pretty good Let's Play of it. I think he finished the main game, and now he's going on to the extra bits.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go ahead and watch it on his site to see the whole nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's really scary, despite the fact that you know it's just a game. But it's one of those games that immerses you incredibly well.
Even if you're just watching.
And even if you're just watching.
Here's the end result of what happened. I showed this to Legend, and he was so scared he slept with a knife under his pillow. I
was basically sitting on my bed watching the door to the hallway with a light on, with a katana across my lap. Just waiting and waiting and waiting.
I saw this after Akari and Legend and Zero kept telling me about this thing, and I could not watch more than 3 minutes, 30 seconds of the video before I said, okay, I have to stop. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, because the main thing that bothers me about this game is not just the paranoia feel, but the helplessness of your situation. The only thing you can do is press a button, and you can't even do that for very long.
Yeah. I can play games that have dark atmospheres. I can play Dark Souls. I can play Shadows of the Damned. But if I cannot fight against whatever the hell is terrorizing me, I'm out.
Also, keep an eye on Pirate Cove.
Yeah, don't spoil it for them, my friend.
Oh, don't worry, you find out. Oh, God.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Just
literally.
Fuck that noise.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Let's go ahead and move on to the rest
the
of
more joyous parts of our week. How about that?
Okay.
Yes.
Not too long ago, Zero and I were able to go ahead and purchase tickets for the Battle of the Gods.
And it was awesome. The only problem is we were up in the neck-breaker seats.
Yeah, because basically the entire town showed up for the premiere.
Yeah, so not only that, there were a lot of people muttering and mumbling. And also, the problem was the audio. God damn.
Yeah, I decided to go for the realistic approach to Dragon Ball Z, in which case, if you hear a rock explode, it's like the rock exploded right next to you.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm pretty sure my ears were bleeding by the end of it.
Oh yeah, we were all talking like this when we were done.
You don't think that might have had to do with the fact that, by the way, for the record, in case you're wondering, why isn't Leo talking about this? Well, Leo was out of town when Legend and Zero went to go see the movie, but we'll get to that later. But weren't you guys in the neck breaker seat? So isn't it possible that you were just too close to the speakers?
Oh no!
No, we were basically almost in the front row.
Yeah, that's
to
what I'm
the
saying.
theater.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you're right there. The speakers are right there.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's more likely to cause the damage than the volume itself.
Well, it was still pretty damn loud. I mean, that's louder than any movie that I've ever been to before.
Now,
And I've been in neckbreaker seats before, and that's never happened to me.
right.
Oh.
That's why I think they did it specifically for Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Now, about the movie itself, without giving away any spoilers, I've got to say it is a lot more lighthearted than a lot of the Dragon Ball Z movies you've seen in the past. And if you're wondering, yes, he does blow up the Earth. I never lie.
I think that all that really needs to be said is that if you were severely disappointed by the live-action Dragon Ball movie, go see this.
Yeah, because it is a lot of fun.
Speaking of going to go
Also,
see,
it would be good therapy if you actually did see the live action.
yeah, speaking of that, although I didn't get a chance to see it, they are doing a Encore release in select cities
I believe
around
it was
the nation.
Yeah, I believe
So-
they were in Austin, Texas, and San Antonio, Texas.
At least as far as Texas is concerned.
Yeah.
That's where they're doing the releases in Texas. But I'm pretty sure they have it in other cities. The Dragon Ball website actually has the locations listed, and you can even buy tickets from there.
Yeah. So, anything else happened for your week, Legend?
Oh, in my week? Oh, I thought we were starting with you.
Well, no, we were talking. You were the one who
Can
started.
you decide which one of you is going to start this thing off? It's like both of you are in the middle of a ballroom dance floor, and you're trying to decide which one is taking the lead.
What, dude?
Do not inspire fan fiction, you fuck!
I think he's
And
trying
the
to pay
second
you back and dragging me into the vengeance loop.
Dude, no! I'm trying to figure out how that would even work.
You're trying to get vengeance on him for the shenanigans
I just realized that I said my joke, and then I'm trying to make my own joke work in my head.
You keep working on that. I'll go ahead and leave this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so my week has been, well, my past few weeks, it's not been that, unfortunately, they maxed out the seats for my job, so I've been off work for a while.
Aw, that sucks.
Yeah, I've been looking for new work, unfortunately.
Hey, but guess what happens in a week?
That's, well,
You start school again.
oh, joy. Joy, joy, joy.
It's too late for me to apply, so I'm going to have to wait for the spring. So that means, oh god, finding a job. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I've been doing.
Because basically, I'm pretty sure my job will consist of what I was doing yesterday.
Oh, you mean pushing a lawnmower?
Yeah. Let's just say that my house has, like, a backyard that's the equivalent of, like, 2 normal-sized houses. And the area was full of 3-foot-tall weeds, so tall I'm pretty sure there was actual live Pokemon in there.
And you didn't pack the Pokeballs.
No, but I did pack plenty of Repel because I doused myself in off because there was not only mosquitoes, but brown recluse in that grass.
So let me see. You were attacked by a wild Spinarak, and they don't have mosquito Pokemon, do they?
You want to count Masquerain. That's the closest thing to an annoying mosquito as there comes.
Yeah, but it also... It's a moth! It's a freaking moth!
It's an annoying moth that vibrates all the time.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
I had to do that by hand. Usually I have a riding mower for that. I had to use a push mower. And the thing is, with that thing, it kept choking every time I tried to go through the grass. So I had to make several passes. And by the time I was done, I believe I shaved off about 5 pounds off of my body in water weight.
I'm pretty sure people are making comparisons based on your pictures.
Yeah.
So, slightly less Doughboy?
Oh, shut up.
Look, we're not the ones who draw the stuff, man. You do.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just are here to go ahead and make jokes about it.
Don't make me hit you.
Okay, at the very least, you didn't have to go through that with scissors like I did.
Ugh, dude. Anyway,
I still have blisters from that, by the way.
My dad would always tell me stories about when he was in Panama. He had to deal with the elephant grass, 9 foot tall grass. That you had. The only way you could move it was you'd have to take your backpack, throw it, run to the backpack, lift it, and repeat. I mean, that's how thick that thing was. So
That's
at least,
awesome,
I mean, it could be worse, Zero. It could be worse.
I know.
I really hope.
If I was in that grass, I'd be running into Tropius.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I really hope they bring back the gigantic tall grass for.
Yeah, that's right.
Ours.
That's right. They do
well,
have that.
They did have that in Y.
They did have that in Y, and I hope they continue the trend because I love getting lost in that stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Not for me. I have allergies.
Well, anyway, other than that nightmare from yesterday, in which I'm still sore from, let's see. There actually hasn't been much going on for me. I've been doing some commissions, helping stuff out with some of my online friends, and actually, what I have been doing is I just picked up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team again.
Oh yeah, how'd that go out for you?
I am a Mudkip.
Oh God, here we go. The meme is not dead yet.
It's not dead.
Not. Can we
Zero is a Mudkip.
Can we expect any fan art of that soon?
I hope none of that fan art from the same guy who was doing Five Nights at Freddy's. God damn it! Zero, I am not forgiving you for this.
Oh, just wait till I get an icon of that.
Yeah, just wait. I have almost run out of tatami mats for my katana.
So I'll go ahead and let Zero decompress a little. Legend decompress a little bit more.
Oh come on! I've just been getting started.
And we'll just go on to my week. I've actually been rather busy, even though I've been on vacation. I went out of town for a couple of days, and it was really nice. It was really relaxing. I got to go ahead and new foods, new experiences. I managed to catch up on my gaming. I finally completed my rerun of Soul Silver.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing Heart Gold now, and I'm preparing to go ahead and do White again.
Remind me again, weren't you doing like specific runs for like Soul Silver and Heart Gold?
Not in particular. I was just using different teams than I normally do, using Pokemon that I haven't actually used competitively.
Ah, right.
So I was experimenting with different team dynamics, and I'm finding out which ones work better for me than not. But one of the better parts of my week was I actually got some extra spending money to go purchase a couple of video games. Mainly, I picked up Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth.
Oh, really?
Which is a blast. I'm already on the 4th investigation. And I gotta say, that one's more fun than I prefer it to the regular Ace Attorney series.
Really?
And the reason is because you get to actually walk around the crime scene as Edgeworth, and you get to actually pick things up. And you actually have to. There's a mini game that involves you making deductions by combining 2 bits of logic.
Yeah. By the way, be wary of the final turnabout.
So it kind of makes it easier for me as far as putting pieces together. I'm not finding myself stuck as much.
You know, there's one thing that I've always wondered. Do you still present this stuff in court?
No. What happens is that when you go ahead and you're working around, there's usually an antagonist, either a prosecutor or another form of law enforcement, who is rising over Edgeworth. Edgeworth, in this case, just came back from vacation and is thrown into this
big
weird
smuggling operation.
This smuggling operation, and because of the scope and the nature, the main antagonist is Shenlong, or what's his name?
Shilong Lang.
Shilong Lang, who
saying that 5 times
who looks like a Dragon Ball Z detective,
and he's also been nicknamed Wolf Boy.
And but the idea is that this guy he's from Interpol, so technically he overrides you.
Oh.
And that's and he is trying to. He has a very Bon Karma stance when it comes to law, much like all the other antagonists.
Okay, which Bon Karma are you talking about? The one with the whip or the one with the fork?
Manfred.
Oh, the one with the fork.
Yes. Although Francesca does appear in one of the cases and is the antagonist in that one.
Ah.
Yeah. Although she's actually in another one as well.
Well, but
as a little girl.
But that's another story. There's time traveling that takes place 7 years prior to the main events of the games. So
we actually do see Manfred.
So you do see characters as they appear younger. You get to actually see Edgeworth in that dashingly awesome coat of his.
Yeah, from the third game, actually.
It's
Oh, man.
Well, I also picked up Bayonetta, which I'm looking forward to playing soon.
Nice.
For the
enjoy the fan wankery.
I got Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, which is going to be awesome. And then lastly, I picked up Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I've been meaning to get for the longest time.
Nice.
So I managed to do quite a bit of video game shopping. Other than that, not too much has been going on for me.
Well, speaking of video games on my end, I never actually got to this part. I went back to Fire Emblem Awakening, looked at the support log, and decided I'm going to fill that out.
And I'll just say this. You insane bastard!
Hey, you saw what I did with Shovel Knight. I'm going to do this. Okay, for those who don't know, Fire Emblem Awakening features a support system, which means that units that fight together will develop rapport with each other. And as the rapport continues, they get better and better bonuses and buffs and whatnot. But they also record the conversations depending on... They record each separate set of conversations for each level of support.
The better part about this system is that you can actually go back in your game and replay them for your own humor.
Right, because some of these are just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Some of them are heartwarming, some of them are just for goddamn ridiculous.
And some are heart-wrenching, as I actually saw with Gregor.
Yeah.
The mercenary who talks like this all time.
Oh, so Terrell.
Basically, yeah. But he's got a really heart-wrenching backstory.
Aw.
And I was surprised, legitimately surprised. So I went ahead and decided, okay, I'm going to get this for everyone.
Didn't you say you paired Gregor up with Tharja?
Well, I haven't gotten to that mechanic yet. The other thing about this is that the support system will lead to marriage if it goes on far enough with appropriate partners.
Really, this just, with the exception of the main character, who can pretty much pair up with everyone, most units can be paired up male to female, and exclusively male to female, to go ahead and yield, for certain females, a child who will go ahead and spawn as a new unit, a new acquirable unit.
Yeah, there's
time
a lot.
travel shenanigans are in full force here.
And you can also pair those kids up with the other people to technically make grandchildren.
Technically, though, none of those characters show up except for a special few, depending on how you arrange it.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, that's the system it works. Get the maxed out relationship link, and then you can get a new unit for the most part.
Yeah, and depending on who you paired them off with, certain stats and certain abilities will be transferred over to the kid.
Which is really, really neat.
Like, for example, I had Donald and Pan.
Yeah, and I remember I had Donald and Jailbait.
Yee.
Yeah, Noe, the dragon girl. God damn
Who
it.
I actually paired up with my avatar. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have mentioned that. God, I thought that was the only dragon girl in the game.
No, there is another one, but she's much older.
more developed, yes.
I was just gonna. What? See, now you're the one who's putting words in my mouth.
No, that was the word I was expecting out of
No,
you,
I was just gonna
honestly.
say older. I was just gonna say older.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
to the point where she has childhood memories of Marth.
Yeah,
That's how old she is.
yeah, from 2,000 years in the past.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, but the
Actually,
thing
what's
is,
the name of the god dragon in that game?
Crystal Dragon Jesus, yeah.
No, I'm trying to. No, the actual person, Tiki.
Ah, yeah, Tiki.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, in order to get all of the different conversations... See, when you get to the S rank, you basically cut off there. You are now hitched.
And the game won't allow you to unlock S ranks with other females or males, depending on which gender you are.
Right, so that means for the support log, I've been save scumming. I have 2 separate files, one of which I save after I've gotten the S-rank support, and the other in which I continue on building S-rank support levels with other companions. Which means by the end of it all, the most lecherous character in the game, Virion, will be the most honest person because they're the only one who can show their actual feelings in person. Everyone's probably going to have a relationship to everyone else, and I have to say, this is basically Schrodinger's romantic comedy.
I would like to ask you one question.
What's that?
Technically, you only unlocked half of them because the female version of your avatar has their own supports
Oh,
and their
right.
own marriages.
So I have to unlock twice.
Yes.
Shenanigans.
Not to mention there's the DLC characters who you can still get hitched up to.
Right.
There's the events that only occur if my unit marries Crom.
Right.
And the various shenanigans with that, and then I think the Avatar's kid Morgan has their own things to do because they take after their parents.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so not only do I have to make the pairings happen, but I also have to do the child and parent supports as well.
Can I just say one thing? Why?
My friend, I have too much time on my hands.
Again, why? You could be busy breeding me that fucking ferris seed.
Well, the thing is, I can get tired of watching the bike go round and round in circles.
That is why you go
tower.
to YouTube.
I can't make his error seeds on YouTube.
No, you go to YouTube while you're circling around.
But then I lose track of time.
I swear this is all just some sort of this is code for something.
For you.
Well, in any case, let's go ahead and move on to some of our topics.
Starting with Asshole of the Week.
And technically we've got two, because both Leo and I both have our own assholes.
Yes, Zero actually has an asshole that's not me for once.
Oh, God. So,
You know that if you could, you would nominate me. I know that.
yes, I would.
Okay,
So, who shall go first?
Zero starts because he actually has one this time.
And, oh dear God, let me just say, I hate what has become of society. Everyone's heard of the cinnamon challenge, right?
You mean the stupid thing where you take a tablespoon of cinnamon, stuff it in your mouth, and see how long you can last before you cough up and die?
Practically, yeah.
Okay.
There's now another challenge on Facebook called the Burning Yourself Alive challenge, basically.
I remember when Tibetan monks did this as a form of
I
protest.
was going to say that!
Well,
I'm not the only one who pays attention to that stuff.
well, it looks like a mother has taken that to help her son get on Facebook. Let me just say, a mother is charged after setting her son on fire for Facebook fame.
You know, I have a challenge for you, Facebook. Cut your balls off. And do the rest of humanity a favor.
Yeah, again, let me repeat. A mother helped set her son on fire. Now, let me say this. The kid is fine. He's just got some minor burns, thank God. But still, what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Okay, Foamy, I think you need to take a chill pill.
I'm sorry, it's just that this is the kind of stupidity that is going to lead humanity to self-extinction.
I thought we were halfway there with Paula Abdul.
What the?
I don't know, something about her, it makes me lose faith in humanity. I don't know what is. Her and Nicki Minaj.
I actually do have a counter to this, however. There is something I can add, and it's not actually the opposite of the asshole of the week. It's badass. This is... Okay, the story goes that in Corpus Christi, a fisherman brought something to the fish fry that basically let everyone who was there have their jaws drop to the floor. Now, you see, normally you bring, like, I don't know, say trout or salmon, catfish, whatnot. This guy brought a 637-pound tiger shark.
I thought the actual measurement was 803 pounds.
It might be bigger, yes. There's always a bigger fish. The thing is, he brought this to the fish fry. They're gonna have shark fin soup for a week after this.
And if I didn't recall, wasn't he also going to feed it to, like, the homeless or something?
No, he did.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. It was a fish fry for the homeless. He brought it after wrestling with it for 7 hours.
Good Lord.
And those homeless are going to eat for a week.
Damn. Part of me is saying that's very nice, and part of me is also thinking, why did you spend all that time fishing up a shark?
My friend, if you had the opportunity and the power to pull a shark out of the water, Would you?
Valid point.
Okay.
Okay, so from enlightening news to back to more depressing news.
Oh God.
My asshole of the week nomination goes to the GTA 5 rapist.
Oh God.
Care to explain, Leo?
Of course, that's what I do. So a hacker apparently loaded the GTA 5 game. Has an online system where you can jump online and offline at any time, and you basically can play in other people's games.
Okay.
And so, what the story goes that someone put a virus onto their character that made them all but invincible.
Oh dear God.
Made whoever they touch clip into them repeatedly, like they're having a seizure, or more appropriately doing the vertical tango.
Oh shit.
And then when the virus character leaves, the infected character is forced to do the lap dance motions from the game's files.
Oh dear God.
For a small amount of time. It's not permanent, but it is very annoying. Rockstar has gone on record to say that they're looking into this. This is not a publicity stunt. This is someone who actually took the time to hack the game.
People have too much goddamn time on their hands.
Yo, hi, how's it going?
Oh, hi, Legend. How's your life?
No, I'm not saying that I'm the GTA rapist, no. But I do mean, yes, there are a lot of people with too much time on their hands.
Well,
But, yeah, just look at Minecraft.
There are people who have actually pretty cool uses of their times. There was a mod released for the Skyrim Nexus, the mod site for the US, in which someone recreated the medieval video game for PlayStation, the first 4 levels in Skyrim.
Are you serious?
Fully functioning with a Daniel Fortescue as the playable character.
Nice.
Yes. So, I mean, there's still plenty of cool things that happen out there on the internet that are good uses of time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's good, and there's the bad,
And then there's Freddy's.
And then there's Freddy's, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not getting rid of this.
Okay, the next thing on our list of news and what the fuckery is, Japan.
Well, this is actually good news from Japan this time.
Yes.
What? Okay, so what's going on, Japan?
Let's see. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright now has an official U.S. release date. Oh, joy!
Yes. Scheduled to come out, I think, at the end of this month and the beginning of September. You can expect this crossover title to finally be playable in English.
Question. Will it be an actual game, or will I have to end up buying it online again?
No, it looks like it's going to be an actual game.
Yeah,
Yeah, get it from the eShop.
Oh, yeah, no, it should have a physical release date.
Yeah, because seriously, fuck Dual Destinies for just having a digital copy.
Why? What's the wrong with the digital copy?
I like having tangible games.
Well, tangible
Because-
games end up in my washing machine.
Yeah, I've been there more than once too.
My Pokemon Platinum has survived 5 washes.
My Game Boy Color game didn't last one.
Speaking of Dual Destinies, Apple recently released Ace Attorney Dual Destinies for iOS. You can now go ahead and take Phoenix Wright on the go with you on your Apple devices. They originally released the original trilogy of Phoenix Wright for the iOS, but now they're releasing Dual Destinies as well.
Huh.
The first intro level is free for everyone, and then subsequent levels are, I think, $5.
Huh.
So it comes to about $25 for everything, including DLC.
Well, 25 to 30, depending on if the game has 4 or 5 cases.
No, it has 5 cases. The first one is free.
True.
The other 4 you have to pay for. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, that means dollar for dollar. It's actually cheaper than the actual game.
No, it's actually...
It's about the same.
Yeah,
It's about the same. The difference is simply the matter of preference in the platform.
Yeah.
Although I will say that it looks a little bit funkier than the 3DS release. So if you have a preference, then the 3DS one I still recommend. But it's still there for people who want to play Phoenix Wright but don't want to get a 3DS just for it.
True. Alright, so let's see. Next on our list, Twitch.
Oh, we're back. But so what's the wonderful news about Twitch this time?
Besides Fish Plays Pokemon, And no, I'm not joking about...
we have to... Okay, I have to pause for a second about this because really, I think the whole thing of a gimmick-placed Pokemon, I'm done. I mean, it was fine at first, and now they've actually finished all the games, including Pokemon X, including the 6th generation ones. Mm-hmm. And now they're having to actually do stupid gimmicks to keep it up. I mean, it annoys me.
Technically, I believe it was a girl who did this. But still, it got over 1 million views.
I mean, what happens if the fish dies?
Game over.
I mean, I'm just
saying, fish.
Personally,
and restart.
Oh.
At least it wasn't Phil Fish plays Pokemon.
Ooh, God, talk about trolling.
Okay, so what's the actual news?
Well, technically, it is still trolling with what's going on with news.
What's the actual news?
Google owns Twitch now.
Yes, we've established this.
And basically, Twitch gets nerfed because they placed a ban on copyrighted music.
So that means that whenever...
So you basically, if you play like 2 or 3 seconds of music, your entire video gets muted.
So the YouTube bullshit transferred over to Twitch.
Yeah, it's like a cancer. Yeah.
And we're back to depression.
Yeah, fuck Google, seriously. Fuck.
Can we go back to good news now?
Is this going to be the continuing thing where we just basically cycle through good news and bad news?
This isn't good idea, bad idea from Animaniacs people.
That's what I was thinking!
This is, well, considering that we're going to Square Enix next, this is good idea, bad idea.
Well, actually, Square Enix has been good. Because on top of the fact that they've actually had a better quarter this past fiscal period, they've also released details regarding Bravely Second.
Again?
Yes.
Yes. We have new job. Well, we have the old jobs and news that new jobs are going to be taking place. We have confirmed that the Valkyrie from the Bravely Default, Red Mage, Performer, and Time Mage have been confirmed.
Even better, Asano, the creator of Bravely, the guy in charge of Bravely Default and Bravely Second, states that the Asterisk users, the bosses who carry the things that allow you to change classes, are also coming back.
Now that's where I say, hold on. Okay, according to... I'm going to go ahead and spoil Bravely Default's spoiler sequence.
I think I tried at the beginning of this entire project to say we're not going to spoil shit here, and every episode since
you have
spoiled something.
Yeah, we did try to avoid this, but I have to do this for argument's sake, and I'm only going to speak about the last part, and I'll try to keep it as minimal as possible. In the very last scene of the game, in the true ending, one of the main characters wakes up in a healing tank, and he overhears that he's basically been there for a frick long time.
I believe the time was 50 years.
At least 50. It sounded like 100. So you mean to tell me, Square Enix, that he woke up just in time for all of... Wait. What I'm trying to say here is these job holders, these asterisk holders, you mean to tell me that even hundreds of years in the future, they're still around?
Well, we'll find out when the game comes out.
I thought the only immortal ones were the freaking vampire and the other guy, who I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Who knows? Who can say? That's all I can say.
I really hope that they do look at this, because if they do make this into a thing, I hope that they can justify it. That's my only thing. If they can justify it, I'll be fine.
They've established alternate dimensions.
Yes, but in all of them, one of those immortals died.
True.
I'm just saying that I don't think it's that much of a difference because when they showed artwork of Anya as the Pope, she hadn't aged drastically. She's still very young looking.
I am also calling bull on that.
So, the way I see it, you have two theories. Number one, theory A, and that's the theory that I'm going with, is that the time difference between Bravely Default and Bravely Second is minuscule. We're talking Pokemon Red to Pokemon Gold transition, maybe
so like
two or 3 years. Something minor that enough time has passed to go ahead and cause some change, but not enough to where people are growing gray hairs. Alternatively, we can go the the magic tech medical route, which is that technology and magic have advanced far enough down the line to where people's lifespans are increasing drastically, enough to the point where 50 years is like 5 years in terms of damage to the body.
Or we could
Well, they
also
did establish the white magic pipeline, so...
But there is one other theory, and that is regarding the creator of the Asterix, don't spoil it, and the fact that he was, in fact, one of the immortals that I spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that the power of the Asterix came from him? And who's to say that the Asterix bearers don't bear that immortality?
Couldn't we just say that the asterisk, like... Okay, I'm going to go into something really obscure, and I don't know whether you guys will remember, but do you remember like the 4th season of Power Rangers when they were doing the Ninja Malarkey, and the movie had the season had come out after the movie, and in the movie the Power Rangers got their ninja powers from this weird ass island guarded by some Amazonian woman.
Wasn't that on an alternate planet as well?
Yeah, that was on an alternate planet, but that's where they got the ninja powers in the movie.
Oh, you never saw the movie with Ivan Ooze?
No.
In the TV series, because they had to come up with an explanation for that, they explained that the powers are actually that the powers wear off eventually, and that in order to get them back, they have to go to I think the temple. It's called the Temple of Ninjetti, and that they have to talk to a robot ninja.
Okay, we have got
who has the power of who is the one who has the power of the ninjas.
Good lord.
Oh, where were we?
So the point I'm trying to make here is that it's not the Asterix users that have the power, but the Asterix themselves. And the Asterix are making a physical construct.
Isn't that what I was basically saying earlier?
You were saying that the Asterix maker was giving the power. I'm talking the Asterix themselves are living. They're like biometals from Mega Man ZX.
Okay, we got on a weird tangent.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Hey, these tangents are fun. They're the only bits of mathematics that I actually enjoy.
There's math involved?
Tangents.
Yeah, but where's the math?
Sine, cotangent, etc.
Oh dear God, let's just move on.
English major math, everyone. My apologies.
Alright, Eterian Odyssey 2.
One of my the Eterian Odyssey series is one of my favorite ones.
Wasn't it Eterian Odyssey?
Eterian. I don't know how it's pronounced. The point is that they did a re-release for the original game last Christmas, and that they're doing a re-release for the second game coming up in Japan.
Ah, okay. I did hear some good things about this game.
Yeah. The big difference is that they're rebalancing the classes. They're adding a new story mode for people who like that.
Wait, it didn't have a story mode before?
No, the original games were dungeon crawlers, and there was very minimal story.
Ah.
So these ones are actually going to have more story. The story mode also acts like a tutorial mode for people who are new to the series.
Oh, okay.
Without actually being too easy.
Okay.
So it's a very good way to enter the game's dungeon delving systems, and it worked out really well for the first re-release. So I'm assuming they're gonna strike twice for the second.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's see. Next is Skylanders.
Wait,
God.
we're actually going into Skylanders?
Why?
And you're the one introducing this?
Let me.
I'm the one reading the list.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about this because I thought this was really interesting, and I want your guys' opinion on this. Is that Skylanders and Killer Instinct are coming out with physical releases with new stuff in October. And what makes them interesting is that both of them have very different marketing builds, and both of these games are being looked at as new as how games in the future are going to compete.
Okay, so how exactly does Skylanders work?
So Skylanders is a multi-platform game that uses these Spyro the Dragon
characters, and they're all in statues. And basically, you put the statue on a little pedestal, and it makes the character in the game, and you play the character there, and they level up, and it transfers back to the statue, and you can do it in other games and stuff.
So you can... It's basically like a virtual reality Pokemon trading card system?
Kinda. It's kind of like the Amiibo thing that Nintendo announced. It's exactly like it.
Yeah, that's where they got it from.
And also Disney Infinity, if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah, but both of them use that style, And the thing about that makes it interesting is because you buy the game, which is a normal game. I think it might be a little bit higher price, maybe around $69, $79 for the system, depending.
Probably because it comes with a platform as well.
Because it comes with the technology to use it.
Okay.
So, and then you buy, and then you play the game with the starter figures that come with it. And then there are roadblocks in the game that require you to use different powers, kind of like Pokemon Ranger, in which different characters have different powers to get over obstacles.
Okay.
You can only get these other characters by buying them, and they can go anywhere between $6 to $8 a pop.
So you're not only making money off of the game console and the freaking
Accessories.
but you're making money off of buying new characters for the game.
Yeah.
It's a combination video game and toy line.
Yes, and
That is brilliant.
And that's exactly why it was so. That's why people were loving it, because it has replay value, because the things transfer over. They had a I think a line. The last line they had was called Swap Force, in which you could interchange parts and have different combinations of characters.
Okay.
This one is called, I think, Trap Team, which gives characters the ability to equip weapons and arms. So, more accessories for you to buy.
Wow.
So, yeah.
This is deeper than I thought.
Yeah, it is very deep. The Disney Infinity is something similar in that you have the figurines and then you boost them with power discs, which give them different abilities from different characters.
Yeah.
The only reason Skylanders is on the list is because they did it first.
True.
Okay, so
And
what's this thing?
it's a brilliant idea, but also I will say the concept just sounds pure evil.
You think that this evil toy corporation is going to take over the world?
It certainly looks like it.
Well, I will tell you this. The kids that I've worked with in the past, they loved it. I mean, they were gaga over this. So I think they're doing something right.
Yeah. Well, me being the ever cynic, I just
Skylanders will take over the world.
yes.
Of course!
So the other
Thank you, Mr. Meme.
The other one was he's not the one playing as a Mudkip.
Oh!
Shut up!
So the other thing on there is Killer Instinct, which is a fighting game that was released earlier last year by a little team called Iron Galaxy, which, in case the name sounds familiar, is the guys who made Dive Kick.
Oh!
Again,
So does this game play with only 2 buttons too?
Not at all. This Killer Instinct is actually a remake of a Nintendo 64 fighter. And this one, it has what's called one of the best fighting game systems to ever have been made.
Really?
It's supposed to be really tight, really responsive. What's interesting is that every character plays uniquely. A lot of characters, when you think of fighting games, there's a lot of problems about clone characters who behave the same way, and characters like when you play Street Fighter, Ken, Ryu, Akuma all play the same way and they just have different stats.
yeah.
That doesn't happen in Killer Instinct. Everyone, with the exception, I think, of the Evil Twin, has their own playstyle. And even the Evil Twin has different mechanics than his light counterpart.
God, I really have nothing to say here.
But here's the thing about how they did Killer Instinct, is that when they initially released the game, they released it with 2 characters.
Oh.
And those characters were free for... You could buy the game, and when they would make the new characters, you would get them and permanently add them. But for the free-to-play people, at release they got 2 characters to choose from. One was the main character Jago, and the other one was the werewolf Sable Wolf.
Okay.
Over periods of months, they went ahead and released a new character every month, and the paid subscribers would get that added to the collection. The free-to-play people would get to play as the character for that month.
Okay.
And then it rotated on for the rest of the season until they had all the characters for that season. And then if you like the characters, you can buy the individual characters if you like them. If not, then you don't need to buy them. You can go ahead and you could have bought the subscription and got them all.
So what you're telling me is that this was a preview sort of system.
It was a piecewise system. You got to either, you could take the whole thing if you wanted the whole thing,
Or
if you weren't sold on it, you could buy the parts that you wanted, and if you changed your mind, you could go ahead and buy more.
Huh.
They're coming out with a physical release this October, as well as a release of Season 2, in which they're bringing out another set of 8 or 9 characters to the roster.
Okay, you explained all this, and I went immediately cross-eyed halfway through.
So the deal is, you can buy characters...
I know, you mentioned it, just don't bother explaining it again, otherwise you're just going to make it more confusing for me.
Okay.
Let's just move on to something else. What's next on our list?
Well, there's a little bit of news that's been kind of cropping up all over the place, where everyone and their mother have been talking about this.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, this was a guy who was basically our childhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know we've gone over a lot of like weird and crazy and downright strange news in some cases.
Oh, you got that right.
But this one is the one that does legitimately touch me at heart. I mean, God, it's hard to believe he's gone.
Yeah.
So,
So why don't we start by thinking, how about we mention each of our favorite Robin Williams films as a kid?
oh man, where to begin? I mean, I remember I was sitting down on the floor, carpet floor, staring up at Robin Williams and smiling in joy, even as he was being chased by a rhinoceros.
Oh, Jumanji! You know, that was actually my first childhood experience with Robin Williams.
Really? You too?
Yeah. And actually, that movie scared me as a kid.
It did scare me, but I loved Robin Williams. He was making me laugh in a movie that scared me, and it made it easier to watch.
Actually, I couldn't watch it until I saw how the movie was made video, and then I could watch it, and then I really enjoyed it.
For me, it was all about Aladdin. Just the whole thing is him as the genie.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
I mean, it was just an amazing and wonderful character.
I know.
And I was just really amazed at how he was able to just be like that. That I went back and I saw some of his things earlier when he was doing stand-up, and he was just an amazing character.
This one thing that Robin Williams said during his stand-up really kind of hit home to like me. He says, everyone's born with a little spark of madness. And you can either let it, keep it suppressed and let it dim out, or you can let it burn up and let it engulf your life and burn out like a shooting star. I don't remember what he actually said, but it was something similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
But that idea that everyone needs that little spark of madness in their life.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps them going. And even though Robin Williams, you know, he kept that spark of madness burning for a long time.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
And I know I don't want to let my spark burn out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't be the same person without that little
bit of madness.
Yeah. Well, all three of us wouldn't be who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can say thank you, Robin Williams, for helping create the three insane fucks right here.
Well, with that, just one little moment of silence, I think.
Yeah. All right, then.
There are other people who are doing, I guess, tributes to him as well.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is actually petitioning to make a bar after him.
Actually,
tavern?
They're actually going to make it.
A tavern, and I believe an NPC as well.
Well, the NPC, I think, is actually for a petition that people are doing for The Legend of Zelda, because, in case you didn't know, Robin Williams was a huge Legend of Zelda fan. He actually named his daughter Zelda.
And Nintendo actually did respond to the petition, which is incredible.
Yes, and they're actually looking into possibly doing it, but they're not going to say right away.
Yeah. Well, the part of the reason they have already asked Robin Williams for help before. They did a commercial with him and his daughter Zelda for the re-release of Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
And they also did one for A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that one. I don't remember. I think my mind's messing with me or something.
But either way, there is a huge outpour coming out for support of his family. So we wish them
best of luck.
We wish them we wish them comfort in this hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I hope this is the last depressing news we're going to have for the day.
God.
No promises, but you know what? Let's move on to something a little bit more energetic.
Let's punch Teddy in the face.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going. Persona 4 Ultimax is also coming out. It releases September 30th. And why is Legend mentioning beating up one of the main characters?
They made a Teddy Buck bag that they included with the deluxe edition.
As well as an entire complete set of the tarot cards.
That sounds cool.
The tarot cards are cool enough. Beating Teddy up is icing on the cake for me.
It's priceless.
Yes.
Fuck you, Teddy!
Okay, man, now, don't go so savage on that. You turn into a giant pig monster.
Don't punch me! The pain is unbearable!
I didn't think I would need this!
You always need that. So,
I barely made it out of that alive!
you know, I don't think he can bear too much more of this.
I will end your asses!
That was good. Now
As Legend was saying about me turning into a pig monster, Ganondorf has been confirmed for Hyrule Warriors.
Wait, isn't that Ganon though?
Ganondorf, no, it's...
Yeah, I know, but Ganon is the pig. Ganondorf is the guy.
Well,
Semantics, you fool!
No, it's not semantics.
It is actually stated in canon.
That's like,
I know.
That's like you see The Legend of Zelda, and people do the stupid thing. Non-gamers who don't know the series mistake Link as Zelda. I mean, it's that kind of a mistake you're making when you say it like that.
Okay, but the thing is, about Ganondorf,
Thanks.
he has Ganon's mane. Good God!
He actually looks like a cross between Ganondorf and Demise.
Remind me after this, I need to show you guys the video Maximilian Dude posted on YouTube about the Ganondorf release, because he basically shows the footage from Nintendo and then records the Juggernaut song behind it.
Oh God!
And it's just awesome when you see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, yeah.
Interspersed with gifs of Vince McMahon in amazement about to have a heart attack. I mean, yeah, I gotta show it to you guys.
Okay, well, Ganondorf looks like he would. He's basically there to tear the ground up.
He wields two giant, freaking, basically Buster Swords.
He wields two great swords.
Yeah.
He dual wields great swords. How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know, but I really kind of wish he was in Brawl.
Triforce of power, bitches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even better, he comes in 3.
Oh, that's right.
The Nintendo Club members also get access to costumes of Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
As if that wasn't enough.
Not only that, but Link and Zelda also get those skins as well.
Yeah, if you pre-order from Best Buy, you can actually get Twilight Princess and even Skyward Sword costumes for
those two.
And actually also Ocarina of Time.
Right.
And Ocarina of Time, yes.
So, that's going to be good.
Do you know who else is coming in from Ocarina of Time?
Oh, who?
The Cuckoos. As allies.
Or enemies. I always knew they would take over the world. I just knew it.
Well, I believe in the trailer, Lana had summoned them through a portal. The foolish, foolish fool of a sorceress.
So what, cuckoos are Cthulhu?
In Legend of Zelda, yes, they are.
Well,
The Feathers of Madness.
I have never heard of someone beating up on Cthulhu and then he summoned more Cthulhus.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Oh, God.
That's all I can say to that.
Okay, I think that's going to be our title for this podcast.
No, it's
We
not.
have better things to choose from.
Oh,
But
well.
anyway,
more Smash news. Meta Knight is announced for Brawl 4. Wait, it's not Brawl 4, it's Smash.
well, it's people are calling it Brawl 4 because it's the full title is Super Smash Bros. Brawl for Wii U. But rather than say that, they just say Brawl 4 because it's the 4th one.
No, I mean, it's Smash Brothers. It's Super
Okay,
Smash
They
Brothers
don't call
4.
it Brawl at all. It's just Smash Brothers for Wii.
Well, who have you been talking to about it?
Nintendo.
Yeah. You fail.
Correction, you failed because you're not part of the fighting game community, scrub.
And yet I kick your ass with Ike. So shove it!
Says the tier whore who cries Johns whenever I use Peach.
Because Peach is broken. Especially when you freaking ass bump us!
Okay, speaking of broken and breaking, Meta Knight's moveset has been altered slightly in the new Smash game. They have basically messed with the shuttle loop and removed the gliding aspect from it. They have more attacks that happen within it, but it's basically no longer used for true recovery.
Yeah, well, the deal was that after you came out of the shuttle loop, then you would just glide around, and depending on where you used it, it basically meant that you still had some time before you were forced to drop to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's not that it's. I don't think it's less that it's nerfed recovery, and it's more that it's not a thing you can use to timer scam now. Yeah.
Timer scan.
Yeah, you basically in turning play when you're playing, even though you're playing on stock, you still have a timer, so that way you can't stall the person out. So people could essentially just fly. If you have like a character who can do fly or high jumps, you basically stay in the air as much as possible and wait the timer out.
Oh wow, that is a dick move.
Oh god. So that's why Meta Knight was banned in the past.
Well, that's
Partially.
That's one of the reasons. There are many more, but that can be considered one of them.
Yeah, but you know, it is going to be really, really weird picking up Meta Knight again. I mean, I can understand video game companies making changes to sequels to make balance issues irrelevant. But the thing is, it also kind of like removes part of the fun of playing a character in some cases. I mean, look what happened with Captain Falcon.
I don't think. Well, here's the thing they did with Captain Falcon. They kind of nerfed the power of the Falcon Punch, but
No, that was the only thing they didn't nerf. That's the problem. Everything else took a power drop except for the Falcon Punch.
No, they still kept they still kept the shock effect on the knee.
They did keep the shock effect on the knee. His signature moves, yes.
And they added a turn on the Falcon Punch. You can actually, if someone gets behind you, you can turn around and punch in the opposite direction.
But at the same time, they did take out a lot of the power from his other moves. So he was no longer able to get to that point.
I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think that there's bigger things that were changed than necessarily simply reducing the power of a move. I think one of the things that bothers me more is the official split of Zelda and Sheik as characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, because the thing about Zelda is now you had two play styles to run off of. You could stay. You could be a long range sort of defensive character as Zelda, and then you could switch into Sheik and be more of a glass cannon.
Well, the thing with that was more people were actually picking Sheik over Zelda.
And they weren't even bothering using the down button to transform.
There were people who preferred Sheik to Zelda.
No,
but
there was a whole community.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that the opposite is also true. There are people who would. I use Zelda and never touched Sheik for the longest time.
Huh.
So it goes both ways. Maybe not in as much numbers as we think, but it exists.
God. It goes both ways. Sheik and Zelda. Shit.
Oh dear God! Now, why are you making the jokes that Legend should be making?
I wasn't even.
Legend should be making what?
I get you two mixed up. We have established this.
I wasn't even thinking that.
When that came out of your... Anyway,
I mean...
it is something, though, that does bother me. I mean, balancing issues in games that basically cause more problems than...
I think that the problem is that when you try to balance... That's part of the problem is that you have two routes to go to. You can either fine-tweak everything, but then you have to go ahead and fine-tweak everything. Everything has to go over the fine-tooth comb. And when you don't do that, then everyone is left in an unviable position.
Okay.
At the same time, you can go completely nuts, and then people just stick with the nuts.
True.
Because,
So,
I mean,
give everyone a power boost?
I mean, no, like
You guys...
what is the phrase that everyone associates with Melee? No items, Fox only, final destination. Melee was nuts, but it was so nuts to the point that only a certain number of characters, well, in this case, only one character, was considered OP, and everyone else was at a significant disadvantage. So
yeah.
Even if they were certain...
I believe we experienced that when we played Project M. Thank you, Legend.
Even when there are other characters who are even built specifically to combat that threat, it's all moot because that one character is so overpowered, and that's what you don't want, because then you end up on the no items Fox only final destination front,
aka power creep,
and then it just basically tosses things out the window. I mean, consider the fact that that since Generation 4, Caesar has been among the top 5 overused Pokemon. and
Well.
it has a very significant presence in Ubers.
It does. It has a unique. It's a bug steel type. It only has one weakness. It has a lot of moves that give it utility, such as U-turn, which allows it to switch out, bullet punch, which gives it priority, and significant power behind
But
that.
it's stuck around for the past 2 generations, and we've seen everything. We've seen a lot of bulky waters fall. We've seen a lot of fighting types fall. We've seen a lot of Pokemon fall tiers because of power creep. And at the same time, we've also seen new Pokemon rise up. Who would have thought that Charizard, the fan favorite from Generation 1, would actually be competitively viable in this day and age? And
Well,
it is.
Thanks to the Mega Evolutions that gave it this.
Right.
It basically was
Steroid boost.
No, it wasn't steroid boost. What do you call those shock paddles?
Clear!
There you go.
Defibrillators.
Defibrillators.
That
there
would
you go.
revive the dragon.
Yeah, the Megastone was basically the defibrillator for a lot of old Pokemon.
And a lot of ones that didn't even need it, like Mewtwo, for example.
Yeah, like you
I have a
needed
funny
2.
story about that. Some idiot decided to face me on. I went on to Spot Pass, whatnot. Just to
you did the battle spot.
the battle spot to try and try out my new team. And the very first person I got was using Yveltal Mewtwo with Mewtwo X, and what was it called? Who's the other guy?
Xerneas?
No, it wasn't Xerneas. It was something else.
Zygarde?
Yeah, it was Zygarde. He was using all 3 of these guys to try to take me on. And I had a B-Sharp, who... I basically sent out B-Sharp, Swords Dance on the first turn when he sent out Yveltal. He switched it out to Mewtwo, and the moment he evolved, I basically sucker punched him and one-shotted it.
Oh, right, because okay, I'm trying to remember the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was basically like that. I was just basically one-shotting all his Pokemon.
Wait, Mewtwo X?
That turns it into a fighting type.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So you did neutral damage and you still killed him?
Yes!
Damn!
Well, it was a Swords Dance boost.
Oh,
But,
right.
And I had black glasses at the time. But the important part was that, well, it still didn't save it.
Well, I mean, like, that's true, but remember that there's videos out there of people who... You've seen the flail videos of people...
Oh, yeah.
Just, like, completely sweeping entire teams with a magic card.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
And then, I mean, you have things like... You have the fear set on Rattata.
For one shot.
You have the copycat for Riolu, which is annoying as all hell.
Oh, yeah, that thing. For those who don't know, Riolu got a Dream World ability in Prankster. And it also gets Copycat, Roar. Copycat makes it so that the very last successful move that works is the one that will...
It uses from now on.
It will use from now on. But the important part is that Roar has...
Negative priority.
It has such a negative priority that it is guaranteed to go last. But
Unless you have Prankster.
Well, Copycat has neutral priority first off.
So
but then...
It's guaranteed to be the last move at all times. Copycat has priority.
Under Prankster.
So that means that if Riolu successfully roars once, it will continue to roar with priority to the end of its PowerPoint usage.
So that's a good way to basically kill opponents with Stealth Rock.
Yeah.
The only way to counter it successfully would either be to have a soundproof Pokemon,
Or
Extreme Speed, or Gale Wings.
Gale Wings Brave Bird would basically one-shot this poor puppy.
Well,
but it also has Substitute.
Yes.
And you'd have to switch in at least twice if Stealth Rock is underway.
Ugh,
Well,
God.
you also have, if you do that, then you also have to. Well, yeah, that would pretty much do it because unfortunately, Hyper Voice does not have priority.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you would still need a soundproof Pokemon or Extreme Speed, or give a priority to level 2 priority before it sets up a substitute.
Well, since we're already on the subject of Pokemon once again, I believe it's time to discuss the news that came out this past week involving
my favorite
Pokemon.
part.
A lot of Megas this time.
Okay, so how about we start in the A section?
A for Altaria.
It's so fluffy!
I could die.
Oh, dear God.
So-
So first off, the Hummingbird Pokemon now gets a Fairy typing.
And it looks awesome. It's like a giant fluffy cloud
It looks-
of death.
It looks like an Altaria bred with a Whimsicott.
Not going to think about how that works. But this...
You're the biologist, you tell us how exactly that happens.
I'll just say Vine Whip and leave it at that.
I don't want to go into that. Anyway,
this isn't 50 Shades of Onyx.
okay, so this Pokemon apparently gets a special... No, it gets a special attack and attack boost as well as boosted defense.
Yep.
It also gets Pixelate as its ability, as opposed to Cloud9.
Ah, yes, and what else does this thing get?
Well, it becomes
got
a
a new typing.
Yeah, it became, instead of a normal dragon flying, it became a dragon fairy, so that means it lost its, well, basically it lost its ground immunity.
And it gained immunity to dragon-type attacks.
So basically, Mega Altaria just became the anti-dragon dragon.
Though I do have a small problem with that, in that Dragon Fairy is somewhat redundant in terms of what it's supposed to do. Yes, it will wall out dragons, but it has two alternative typings that basically function for the same purpose.
Not really. I think that it actually has a very... the typing works out really well. Even though it loses its flying typing when it Mega Evolves, it works along the lines of Charizard X, in that it goes ahead and gets... It will be able to switch in, ignore spikes, and it will ignore spikes, and then it Mega Evolves, and then it's okay.
Okay.
The other thing is that it gets a shit ton more resistances than it gets for whatever it loses. For starters, it now is only twice as weak to ice, and it takes regular damage from rock.
That is very true.
In addition, it also now still resists fighting types, but it also resists dark, and I think, what was the other? Fairies resist dark fighting.
Dark fighting and
they have the absorption of dragon type attack.
Yeah.
And they absorb dragon.
It doesn't have to worry about fire type attacks because it still resists dragon.
It still might have a problem with steel types.
Steel and poison are the only things that are a problem, but this thing has flamethrower, so steel types still have to be careful.
That's true.
So really, the only threat that it actually gets is poison, and really that's more of a coverage deal. You can probably find someone to coverage it.
Yeah, use a sludge bomb or sludge wave.
Yeah, Gengar's famous for that.
And even then, it takes half damage. It takes half as much damage as it used to from ice type attacks, and is no longer weak to rock. So those are good things.
And actually, also thanks to dragons taking half damage from fire.
Well, fire was never a weakness.
No, right, the dragon. Well, that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't
change.
change.
It was never a weakness, so it resists fire.
It still resists fire. It's the same amount.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. I don't know what was.
But
okay,
but would you actually want to run this as your Mega?
Would I want to run this as a Mega? It actually does have some viability. It has Dragon Dance, for one, and the boost to special attack means that Flamethrower is going to hit even harder. So even Mega Caesar is going, oh shoot, about this.
I think that I'm assuming that it might get Dazzling Gleam as its fairy move, since that's what most Respect fairies get. I'm guessing that's what it's going to get.
Yeah.
So a moveset along the lines of Calm Mind, Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor, depending on your preference, Flamethrower, and Dazzling Gleam would be my moveset of choice.
Well, the thing is,
it also gets Pixelate, so...
So that means you could, instead of Dazzling Gleam, you could run Return.
Yeah, for a normal type, for a physical type attack, but really, is this something you want to run physical on?
Dragon Dance.
Yeah, but even with Dragon Dance...
It gets a boosted attack stacked.
I know, but that's like saying running Dragon Dance on a Latios. Do you see my point? It's a special attacker.
Well, that's not...
You can run Dragon Dance. I'm not saying you can't, but as far as my preference goes, I usually prefer to run with whatever its strengths are.
Well, we don't know how big of a boost it got to its attack stats.
I think it's still going to be that its special attack is what's going to be boosted the most. And even then, when you look at it's not even a good attacker within and of itself. Base 70 attacks on both sides, physical and special. It's not going to go ahead. This was originally a tanking Pokemon.
Now, though...
It's got some bite now.
So yeah, you might actually use this thing to sweep through teams. Or should I say dust them? I mean, it looks more like a...
Feather duster.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how it would work. I think there needs to be better support for it before I would say this thing warrants the Mega slot.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We have more to see.
Well,
Oh, God.
the next one on our list is Mega Salamence.
The flying croissant.
Yeah, Leo showed me a picture where they replaced Salamence's wings with a croissant, and I just couldn't help but laugh.
I mean,
I think this thing also has another nickname, but for the life of me, I can't bring it to mind as we speak. Comment section, if you know this, please back me up.
I think it's the Jedi Sith symbol.
I don't see it, but then again, I don't like Star Wars. Don't tilt the laptop.
I'm just saying that if you rotate it that way, that's what the Sith symbol looks like.
They don't know what the hell you're doing. It's audio only.
Yeah, so anyway, when Mega Salamence evolves, its wings fuse into a giant crescent moon blade wing, and it tucks its wings into it tucks its hands into its armor. So now it can go at super high speeds, and its wings act like a blade through the sky.
Which is bullshit, because that's not what its stats seem to indicate.
Yeah, apparently it's a highly boosted defense stat, which I had to wonder, what?
Okay,
so tucking its arms into that little plate armor increases its defense drastically?
Okay, so here's the thing.
And it also gets aerialate.
Here's the thing about... Okay, so aerialate is awesome because that means return has the same effect that Mega Pincer has, which means it now basically can pwn super hard. That's 105. I think it's a 30% buff. So it's dealing about 135.
Well, technically, it kind of needs the defense boost, because 80 defense? Sheesh.
Yeah, but it had Intimidate before, so double that. Or, well, multiply that by 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, bring it in, Intimidate, then Mega, and then Aerialate.
Exactly, and now the defense boost means you're even tougher to kill. With Roost, that incredibly extends your lifespan.
True, but then
And you've already got a base 135 attack
Yeah, but I mean,
stat.
that never stopped Mawile before. It does the same idea. You basically switch in as your normal, you get the defense boost from Intimidate, you Mega Evolve, and now it's going to be a lot harder to deal with you. The deal is that Salamence already was able to sweep, so it didn't need pure power from Mawile.
Okay.
In this case, they're keeping the killing potential, but now they're increasing the longevity by increasing its defenses, combining it with Roost that makes it much more viable long term.
Okay. But at the same time, it kind of feels...
But then again, we also don't know if there's going to be any other stats boosted as well, because we don't have the actual numbers.
Or decreased.
True.
Keep in mind that certain numbers actually can decrease in Mega Evolution.
So for all we know, it'll drop, like, say, special defense and boost speed, maybe.
Or it could drop speed. Which
But then again, it says
sad.
it's supposed to be going at super high speed, so I doubt it's going to be that. It might actually get a boosted speed.
Objection.
Bullshit.
Escavalier.
Bullshit. Pidgeot.
Okay, you guys are going to have to explain that one to me, because I don't know their stats off the bat like you two
Would
freaking
you like
nerds.
to start, Edgeworth?
Okay, for Escavalier, base 20 stats, Pokedex claims it moves at max speeds.
Similar claims for Pidgeot, who is supposed to be able to break Mach 5, but only has base 80 speed.
Yeah, it goes to show you can't trust the Pokedex.
So yeah, I'm not going to believe the idea that Yamask are in fact human beings.
Yeah, that might be actually
Sure,
true.
I'm not entirely sure about... Oh, my favorite Pokemon!
Yes, apparently we have Leo's new Spank material for the next month.
What?
The one that you're commissioning for me?
No, not that one.
Okay, so Mega Lopunny basically decided to drop the girly act and kick ass.
Yeah.
So
It's a huge boost to its attack and speed, turning it into a horrifyingly hard-hitting speed demon.
Not only that, it also gets a fighting type.
Yeah, so it's not normal fighting. So, Bunny Girl, check. Twin Tails, check. Torn Yoga Pants, check.
Yeah, that's your wank material for the next month.
Well, here's the other thing that I love about this thing. It got Scrappy as an ability. So, ghost types. I hate to break it to you, but you might want to stay out of this.
This makes Mega Gengar going up against this thing a terrible idea.
However, poison types do resist fighting.
Normal.
Normal, however, is going to rip it a brand new one.
Because
Imagine a return on this thing.
This thing got high jump kick, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so high jump kick, normal. with return, your choice of Home Claws, Healing Wish, whatever you want, even Switcheroo or an E-Punch, this thing is going to be awesome.
Okay. Huh.
So, yes, I'm very much looking forward to using this thing. It looks unconventional. I can understand the community's concerns, but this thing looks like it will definitely kick butt.
Remind me.
And I think it could work well to absorb ghost-type attacks. I mean, this is the anti-ghost.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, so remind me, what are its stats again? Because
shit, otherwise.
Actually, it does have great speed.
But that's pretty much it.
That is pretty much it, but... Yeah, base 105, it's
hold on,
that...
hold on, that was Gen 4.
It doesn't change. Oh, base 105.
Yeah, it's base 105 speed. At that speed, it will still get outrun by Gengar, but...
It's going to get boosted in the Mega form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will outrun Gengar.
Not to mention that its physical attack's going to get shot up.
Yeah.
And that its defenses are actually pretty decent as is.
They're pretty average.
So if they drop special attack another 10, 20 points, that's pretty good for me.
Yeah, I could actually, I hate to say it, use this on my team. It could actually work well alongside Gengar now that I think about it.
Yeah. Alright, so now we covered the 3 main ones that were released. Now let's going to talk about the ones that were accidentally leaked.
Accidentally in air quotes, mind you.
Yeah, for all we know, the Korean Pokemon of Korea accidentally brought these on purpose.
Right.
So
For starters, we've got Mega Audino, the first Gen 5 Pokemon to receive a Mega Evolution.
And it's not that bad, I see.
Yeah.
It's a normal fairy type.
Yeah, it goes from the normal type it once had to a fairy typing, which is actually pretty cool.
So neutrality to Ghost and Dragon, it'll take...
No. It has immunity to Ghost.
I mean, immunity to Ghost and Dragon takes neutrality to fighting now, resists Dark, and only has weaknesses to Poison and Steel.
This thing has great coverage.
Not to mention the fact...
not coverage. It resists a lot of Pokemon.
Not to mention that it gets a boost in...
It's in its defenses.
Yeah.
Special defense and physical defense both go up, and because this thing was supposed to be the Blissey replacement, you know shenanigans are going to happen with this Pokemon.
Yeah, this thing was supposed to be, I don't know. Did it get Wish?
I believe it did.
It got Heal Pulse, I know that, and that was supposed to be something similar to Wish, but for multiple Pokemon battles.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Yeah, like most normal types, this thing has a move pool up the wazoo.
Yeah, I got Heal Bell.
Oh,
It does get Wish and Heal Bell, and it even has Healing Wish.
No. The worst thing, though, is it gets STAB Drain Kiss.
Oh, shit, but that's an egg move.
So?
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, and let's see. Its stats it had a pretty good HP at 103. Defenses were both at 86. So now that it's going to get the boost to both.
Again, this is going to replace Blissey,
Yeah.
and this could potentially outplace Chansey.
Well, if it has to compete with those, I can say that arguably it has the best type for it.
And I also will say it will probably have more survivability than either one.
That remains to be seen, however. The exact quantity of the boost is yet to be
Remember,
revealed,
a Mega Evolution is at least 100-point boost.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the biggest thing, is that when you take on a Chansey, you know that the only way to take out a Chansey is through its physical attacks, is to exploit its pitiful physical defense stats. Because I think it's like 10 or 5 or something like that. It's not that much.
Yeah,
But
with this thing,
here you're dealing with something that's probably going to have, I'm going to do an estimation, say, a defense and a special defense of at least 130, maybe 140.
I'm going to say 120. I don't think it's going to be that big, but I will agree with you that it will be significant enough that you will need to. You're going to have to at least Swords Dance before you can try and take this.
Not to mention the fact it's going to have it's already got a bulky HP stat as is.
Which means that's going to definitely need to take a few hits before he goes down.
The only thing I can say about it is it's probably going to be. It also gets Misty Terrain now as well,
which means it can wall out status if you're touching the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Though there is one thing that does bother me about this Pokemon and another one which we'll be covering very soon, and that is that its best ability is Regenerator, which allows it to heal about a third of its health each time it switches out.
Yeah.
But it loses that as a Mega and gets...
Healer.
Which does what again?
At the end of the turn, there's a 30% chance of either the ally being healed from a status condition.
Either ally. So if you're in a triple, double, or multi-battle, and the other Pokemon is under status affliction, then it basically can shed shell it.
Which is not bad.
Considering the prevalence of double battles, yes. But this...
I mean,
It's actually a very useful thing. Consider the fact that Heal, Bell, and Aromatherapy only have 5 uses apiece.
this is basically an unlimited.
This increases the usage of it. Under pressure, you only get about 3 to 4 maximum, depending on if you're putting a PowerPoint up in it.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Regenerator gave this thing survivability.
I mean, more survivability than it already has, granted.
Yeah.
Granted, if it had Regenerator as its ability, it would be broken because it would have the one thing Chansey and Blissey could never have, and that's essentially a limitless fountain of health.
Yeah, which I can understand why they decided to change it.
Yeah, because if they did that, then 30% off of 105 minimum HP, we don't know if that's getting increased either, would be incredible. And there's certainly more than enough teams who could abuse that alongside Subseed.
Yeah, there's already been enough abuse in the metagame.
So it's certainly, I think the reason to choose Healer over Regenerator was to go ahead and limit the impact of that move for competitive purposes. Because when you're going Mega, you're going all out.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing defensive, you're going all out. So this thing is not meant to last, it's meant to hurt.
Which it doesn't look like it does very well.
Well,
No,
consider the fact that Zero would always cringe whenever I brought out my Blissey back in the day. I don't think that you need to be offensive to put the hurt on.
And don't forget my stall team back in Gen 4.
So
yeah, so
stall again. Just
Could
because
work as well.
it's not offensive doesn't mean it's not viable.
Yeah, remember, my teams back in the day were designed to annoy and prolong the battle and make you guys irritated.
it worked.
Yes. That's
So
right.
fair
That's
enough.
right. I think that's the same direction they're going with Mega Audino.
Okay.
So, good. It's probably going to be very viable.
It might be viable.
It definitely needs some team support. However, I like it more than I like Mega Altaria.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about our next Mega?
The last one,
Mega Derp.
Mega Slowbro.
Doc, I need to talk to you for a second. I needed to check out this growth that I have. It's kind of getting in my way, and
I can only balance on my tail, and
think you should
it's
take a
starting to
look at
envelop
it.
my head.
I mean,
yeah, that's the look on this poor thing's face.
Yeah,
Is the shelter trying to eat him?
it already has. His
Hey.
tail is poking out the shelter's ass.
It says that it bounces on it like a spring. What the hell?
I'll tell you this. This is the kind of awesome derp that I love from Nintendo.
Yeah, this thing just. Okay, so.
So, can we expect a Mega Slow King?
No.
I think we can. I think that
What's going to happen then is the shell will just develop from the other
we
way?
have Mega Gardevoir. Why should we expect? We can expect a Mega Gallade.
A Mega Gallade.
But that's
But I doubt we're not going to see it.
but not right now.
Yeah, I bet we're going to see that when they remake Diamond, Platinum, and Pearl.
Possibly. But back to Mega Slowbro. This thing is going to be bulkier than it even was before, and this is back to the Audino comparison.
Yeah.
It also gets a boosted defense and special defense.
I will
Unlike Audino, it is actually offensively viable.
Yeah, let's take a look at its stats.
A 100 decent special attack, 110 physical defense, 80 special defense, 95 HP. This thing could last a while.
Yeah. And it's already going to get a boost to its defense and its special attack.
So, Calm Mind, Slack Off, Scald, and Flamethrower.
Ow.
Yeah, just bring out your electric types.
And also from the trailer that Nintendo showed, because they finally did show an official trailer for both Audino and Slowbro, Mega Slowbro took a straight up Dragon Claw from a Charizard X. Now keep in mind, Charizard X gets both a boosted attack stat and Tough Claws, which boosts the strength of claw attacks.
And SDAB on Dragon Claw.
That too. And Mega Slowbro ended up only taking quarter damage.
Which it can heal off.
Which you can heal off with Slack Off and be back at full.
Yeah. So this
Even after taking a second hit.
So, Mega Charizard, I recommend you switch.
Yeah!
You're not going to get past this guy.
Switch to something that knows Thunder!
Back to the Audino comparison, it does lose Regenerator, which was its treasured ability, Dream World ability from Generation 5.
And Shell Armor
and gets Shell Armor in his set.
Yeah, now...
Well,
it could do better.
Not necessarily. Keep in mind that recently with some of the derpier abilities, they've been revamping them. Remember that Lightning Rod back in Generation 3, Generation 4 directed lightning attacks from other Pokemon to itself, which was only viable in double battles, and even then it was pretty much useless because the only Pokemons that learned it were ground types like Rhydon, who were already immune to it, or electric types who would then take half damage.
Yeah.
Turn to Generation 6,
and then it gets a
power boost off of Absorb, in addition to not taking any damage.
Yeah, it takes a special attack stat boost.
It now gets a special attack stat boost. It's kind of like Flash Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why Mega Sceptile had me giggling in
Glee?
when we first saw its ability.
So maybe they plan to revamp Shell Armor in a similar vein to Tough Claws, where it gets a small buff to physical defense.
That would be fun. Honestly, that would be.
In addition to preventing critical hits galore, which were nerfed when X and Y came out.
That's
true.
true.
I remember the nerf. I remember the boost to Sturdy, which was.
That was incredible. That Sturdy finally became useful.
Yeah, that just made so many Pokemon evil to take down. I hate running into Graveler and Boldore. Because you know they're going to hit you at least once.
And, well, unless you have Mold Breaker.
Unless you have Mold Breaker. Which you're going to need because these bastards will still attack you.
But I hope Shell Armor becomes something like that where it gets where you get a passive defense boost off your ability. And not only would that improve this Pokemon, that would also improve things like Crawdont, Armaldo. I'm trying to think of other ones that have this. I think Blastoise gets it as its Dream World ability, and taking that before Mega Evolving into
Mega
Blastoise,
incredible.
Even by itself, makes it a wall.
The Dream World ability was Rain Dish.
Rain Dish. I'm trying to remember who had Battle Armor. I think it might have been Torterra who had Shell Armor. It might have been Torterra.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is definitely one of the bigger. That is definitely something I hope they do with more abilities, making them at least in some way competitively viable, even if it's just a minor thing like that.
Okay.
So, despite the derpiness of Mega Slowbro,
we are looking forward to using it.
I am looking forward to it. It definitely has a different feel compared to Mega Audino.
Yeah. Yes, it has a different feel than most other Megas.
Ought to know why they didn't do this in the first place.
Why'd you do that?
I'm surprised Noah's made that joke already.
I don't know. Oh god, it actually hurt to actually say that.
Okay, is there any other news coming on the channel there, Zero? Actually, we do. I completely forgot over this.
Hey, we actually got mystery gifts this time.
Yeah, when Aurus finally comes out.
They are releasing the shiny Beldum as a mystery gift, and it will come with Metagrossite, just like they had the Torchic event for X and Y.
Yeah, only this time, instead of a normal Pokemon, you get a shiny. We like shiny.
So that means there's going to be a horde of white Metagrosses impacting the battle spot challenges.
No, I imagine there's going to be a lot of shiny Beldum being popped around on Wonder Trade.
Maybe.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. The other thing, in the U.S., they just released the Heracross and Pinsir mystery gifts. It's a two-part thing. You can get the Pokemon, opposite to what your game normally gets. I'm trying to remember how it goes. I think in Y you get Pincer, and in X you get Heracross.
Yeah, you get Heracross and X.
And then you get their respective Mega Stones from GameStop.
Yeah, that's what I believe I read. It's kind of weird. Why didn't they just have the Pokemon holding them?
That's a very good question.
Because that would be too easy for you Pokemaniacs.
Yeah, I'm going to double check the news really quickly just to confirm this.
But I believe that was one of the big things as far as that is concerned, and that's the next event that's going to happen.
Yeah, let's see. Pokemon X and Y, yeah, the internet. This event running in conjunction with an event running in GameStop. Yeah, so yeah. You get the Pokemon through the internet, you get the stone through GameStop. Which is bullshit!
Yep.
Why, Nintendo? Mystery gifts, finally? But still, what the fuck are you doing?
We want our other Charizardite. Quit holding out on us, Nintendo!
Well, if you just got the other game, you could get it.
Yeah, pay a whole $30 extra.
I have both.
Yeah, but not all of us can afford it. I haven't been paid for the last week, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's true.
What's
So,
been going on the channel, Zero?
not much. Oh, yeah, actually, we just hit our 400 subscriber.
Thank you very much, guys.
Woohoo! So, we're probably going to have like a big thank you video when we hit 500, but please, continue supporting us and tell your friends, tell your family, tell total random strangers about us.
Don't tell random strangers about us. They'll think you're crazy. They'll think
Aren't we already?
No, they will think that the person recommending us to them is crazy.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
But still, thanks very much, guys, for all the support.
So we're working on the next bunch of type reviews. Hopefully that won't take 2 years again, right?
Well, hopefully I should have everything done by, hopefully I should have
By Thanksgiving.
No, actually, like I mentioned in the video, the next review that Leo is going to be giving us should be done by either the end of August or at the beginning of September, and the creepypasta should be done by October 30th, which is the intended date of all our creepypasta videos.
You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in September now I think about it. It's going to be a good year.
Yes, it is.
Alright. I think we're done for this today. Guys, if you will join me at the door, we will go get pizza at Freddy's.
Fuck you!
Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go to McDonald's instead.
Alright, guys, this is Death Zero.
Leo Force.
And Legend Hunter signing out.
Over and out.
Later.